Come to page number 80. Understanding marginalization. What does it mean to be socially marginalized? To be marginalized is to be forced to occupy the sides or fringes. Fringes means borders. And thus not be at the center of things. This is something that some of you have probably experienced in the classroom or playground. If you are not like most people in your class, that is, if your taste in music or films is different, if your accent marks you out from others, accent means the pronunciation, the way you pronounce the words. If you are less chatty than others in your class, if you don't play the same sport that many of your classmates like, if you dress differently, the chances are that you will not be considered to be in by your peers. Peers means someone of your own level. That means here your classmates. So often you end up feeling that you are not with it, as if what you say, feel and think and how you act are not quite right or acceptable to others. If these things continue, then what happens? The person who is facing this sort of emotional torture, the person slowly will go to the mode of depression. He or she will become very depressed, and if this depression continues, then that person will not feel like joining the classes, joining the social groups, or that person can also become somewhat mentally disbalanced. These things can happen. And in very short, that it is said as odd man out. When your taste is different, when your clothes are different, when the way you speak it is different from the conventional one, that means which is in practice, it is different from what is just being practiced or what is followed. At that time, you will be known as the odd man out. You will not be allowed to enter where others they are present. Or even if you are present at that time, people will mock at you. They will just find some sort of things to joke. Okay, everything will become just a joke for them. As in classroom, in the social environment too, groups of people or communities may have the experience of being excluded. Their marginalization can be because they speak a different language, follow different customs, or belong to a different religious group from the majority community. They may also feel marginalized because they are poor, considered to be of low social status and viewed as being less human than others. These things are very widely practiced in our society. If somebody is belonging to a poor family, that person does not get respect. Even if the person is ought to get respected, the person does not get respect, does not get any sort of that what is said welcome. The person is not received properly, is not ignored, not given any importance. All these things, they happen. Okay, so where I was. Sometimes marginalized groups are viewed with hostility. Sorry. Hostility means unfriendliness and fear. Yes, hostility and fear. This sense of difference and exclusion leads to communities not having access to resources of opportunities and their inability to assert their rights. They are not able to demand their right. Though they are facing these problems, their rights, the whatever from the constitution, the rights are just given to them. Those rights they are not getting, but they don't get that much, they cannot pluck that much of courage to go and protest against this one. They experience a sense of disadvantage and powerlessness vis-a-vis the more powerful and dominant sections of society. Vis-a-vis meaning, you know, in relation to. See, they experience a sense of disadvantage and powerlessness vis-a-vis more powerful and dominant sections of society who own land, are wealthy, better educated and politically powerful. Thus, marginalization is seldom experienced in one sphere. Economic, social, cultural and political factors work together to make certain groups in society feel marginalized. Underline this one. What makes feel others or makes feel people marginalized? These factors, economic, social, cultural and political. These factors, they work together to make certain groups in society feel marginalized. In this chapter, we will read about two communities that are considered to be socially marginalized in India today. Adivashi and marginalization. Adivashis and marginalization. An Adivashi family in Delhi, Soma and Helen, are watching the Republic Parade on TV with their grandfather. Oh, see an Adivashi float. Dadu, why do they always show Adivashis as only dancing? Yes, don't they know anything else about us? The lives of Adivashis are very rich. Most people don't know that. Yes, really. If you are lucky enough to just come in account with any real Adivashi who had just spent his childhood, his or her childhood in forest or in remote parts of the country, then you will come to know that what sort of courage they are having. In front of them we cannot stand. If the comparison of courage is done, we will not be able to stand in front of them. And what sort of knowledge they are having. This knowledge is not this bookish knowledge, but this knowledge they have gathered from the nature. Nature has taught them. When I was young, our village in Odisha was beautiful. We got everything we needed from the land and the forest around us. We in turn respected the land, the forest, the river. Suddenly we were told that the forest was not ours. Forest officials and contractors cut down large parts of it. If we protested, they beat us and then took us to court, where we did not have our lawyers and could not fight our cases. So this was the problem. There were nobody to stand by them or beside them. That's why they had to face a lot of torture. Then how did you survive, Dadu? Many of us were forced to leave our homes and find seasonal work in nearby towns. Seasonal work means the works which are not permanent. During the harvest season, you can see that many people, they are working in the fields. It is some sort of seasonal work. Then the company walas came. They said there was iron ore under our land. They wanted to mine it. They promised jobs and money if we sold our land to them. Some villagers were excited. Others said this would destroy our lives and we would get nothing. Some gave thumbprints, not realizing they were selling their lands off. This is the problem with these people. These people are so-called illiterate. That means this bookish knowledge they are not having. They don't know how to read and write, and that is the not. Don't consider now the condition now. It is before independence. Everything is said before independence. So at that time, these people, they didn't get the opportunity to do, study. They didn't get the scope to go to schools and colleges. As a result, they remained illiterate. It is not their fault. It is not their fault. And at that time, India was not having these government schools where free education was provided. It was not, the education, schools, colleges were not that much in number at that time. Only the rich people, they could afford, they could go. And people who are belonging to high level or high status or superior caste, they used to go. So without knowing, they are giving the thumbprints, and as a result their lands are just getting sold. They didn't know what they are doing, but they are giving their thumbprints on their own. Only a few were given token jobs, small jobs for mental satisfaction, but most of us did not sell. So what happened after that? Then they beat and threatened us till eventually everyone was forced to sell and abandon the land of their forefathers. If it is not done with sweet words, then definitely beating is there for you, and threat is there for you. Then at that time you will be forced. They had the support of the authorities. Our whole way of living vanished overnight. Oh Dadu, and our land, what? For our 3 acres, we got a little money from one contractor. I never saw most of my friends again. The money hardly lasted in the city. We had no means of livelihood anymore. We were all cramped into a tiny rented room. Small room, they were cramped means the room was overcrowded. How we missed our carefree lives, the open spaces, that means the freedom. After a few years, your father got a job in Delhi and we all moved here. Those were very difficult times. That is why both of you did not go to school for several years. I hated going back to school. We had missed so much of our studies and other children made fun of us. We spoke Santali at home and did not know Hindi. So this is the way they were marginalized in the class, because they spoke different language, not Hindi. But now we have friends. I can even speak some English now. I wish I could have shown my friends our village before it was destroyed. You can still tell them about our village. It has a lot to teach them. One day I'll make a movie on this story, our story, the Adivashi story. You just read about how Dadu was forced to leave his village in Odisha. Dadu's story is similar to the lives of millions of Adivashis in India. You will read more about the marginalization of this community in this chapter. So children, give a tick mark up to this one. And now if you are having any query or doubt, you will ask me. Okay.